My daughter's graduation photographer accidentally sent me photos of my husband with 3 kids I'd never seen before. And they all had his eyes. Let me take you back to how this all started. Sarah was graduating high school with honors, and I was bursting with pride. After 18 years of marriage to David, watching our only child walk across that stage felt like the culmination of everything we'd built together. David had been traveling more for work lately, he's in pharmaceutical sales, but he promised he'd never miss this moment. The ceremony was perfect. David sat beside me, squeezing my hand when they called Sarah's name. We took family photos afterward, hired this amazing photographer named Michelle who specialized in graduation portraits. She was capturing families left and right, and I felt so grateful for our little unit of 3. I'll have these edited and sent to you within a week, Michelle promised, packing up her camera gear. David kissed my cheek. I have to fly out tomorrow morning, but this was worth rearranging everything for. That should have been my first red flag. David never rearranged work travel. Ever. The photos arrived in my email exactly 7 days later. I was at work, sneaking a peek during my lunch break, excited to see how beautiful Sarah looked in her cap and gown. I scrolled through dozens of gorgeous shots, Sarah beaming, our family of 3 looking picture perfect. Then I kept scrolling. And that's when my world exploded. There was David. Same graduation ceremony, same photographer, same day. But he was hugging a blonde woman I'd never seen before. And surrounding them were 3 kids, a teenage boy who looked exactly like David at that age, twin girls who couldn't have been older than 10. My hand started shaking. This had to be a mistake. I clicked to the next photo. David was lifting one of the twin girls in the air, spinning her around. The same way he used to spin Sarah when she was little. The blonde woman was laughing, her hand resting on the teenage boy's shoulder like she'd done it 1,000 times before. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out right there in my cubicle. I scrolled through 23 more photos of this other family. David cutting a graduation cake with the teenage boy. The twins wearing graduation stoles that said "Proud Little Sisters." The blonde woman kissing David's cheek. I called Michelle immediately. "Oh my God," she gasped when I explained. "I am so sorry. I was photographing multiple families that day, and somehow your husband's photos got mixed into your gallery. The other family's name is Henderson. I'll remove them right away." Henderson. David's middle name was Henderson. "Wait," I whispered. "What's the graduate's name?" Let me check." "Michael Henderson. Really sweet kid, looked just like his dad." "Michael." David's father's name. I drove home in a complete daze. Sarah was at her friend's house celebrating, and David wasn't due back from his business trip until Thursday. I had 2 days to figure out what the hell was happening to my life. That night, I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through David's office with a fine-tooth comb. Hidden in his filing cabinet, behind our tax returns, I found a manila folder labeled Property Management. Inside were mortgage statements for a house across town. David Henderson and Rebecca Henderson. Purchase date, 15 years ago. 3 years into our marriage. I literally threw up. Right there on his office floor. But wait. It got worse. I found Rebecca Henderson on Facebook. Her profile wasn't private, and I scrolled back years through her photos. There was David at every birthday party, every Christmas morning, every family vacation. The twins' baby photos, the teenage boys' little league games, family trips to Disney World. But here's the part that broke me completely, Rebecca's anniversary post from 2 months ago. 16 beautiful years with my husband David. Thank you for giving me Michael, Emma, and Lily. Thank you for being the most amazing father and partner. Here's to forever. 16 years. Our 18th wedding anniversary was next month. I screenshotted everything. Every photo, every post, every comment from family members calling David dad and the best father-in-law ever. Then I called in sick to work and drove to that address. The house was gorgeous. Two-story colonial with a white picket fence and a swing set in the backyard. David's car wasn't there, but through the living room window, I could see family photos covering an entire wall. David with Rebecca on what looked like their wedding day. David teaching the boy to ride a bike. All of them at Sarah's age in matching Christmas pajamas. I sat in my car across the street and sobbed until I couldn't breathe anymore. When David came home Thursday night, I was waiting in the kitchen with printed copies of every single photo spread across our dining room table. "How long?" I asked. His face went completely white. For a moment, I thought he might try to deny it, but then his shoulders just slumped. 18 years, he whispered. "You married her after you married me?" "No, Rachel. I married you after I married her." The room started spinning. I gripped the table to keep from falling. Rebecca was my college girlfriend. We got married young, had Michael right away. But I felt trapped, you know? When I met you at that conference, you were everything she wasn't. Independent, ambitious, no kids yet. I thought I could have both lives. Both lives? I was screaming now. You've been living a complete lie for 18 years. Sarah doesn't even know she has siblings. I was going to tell you. Eventually. But then Sarah came along, and you were so happy, and Rebecca had the twins, and it just became easier this way. Easier. 18 years of my life, and it was just easier. But here's where David underestimated me. The next morning, while he was at work, I drove back to Rebecca's house. She was in her garden, and when she saw me walking up her driveway, her face told me everything. She knew exactly who I was. "You're Rachel," she said quietly. "You know about me?" Rebecca nodded, wiping dirt from her hands. "I've known for years. I hired a private investigator when David started traveling so much. I know about you, about Sarah. I've seen her graduation photos on David's phone." We stared at each other for a long moment. Then Rebecca did something unexpected. She invited me inside for coffee. "I've been waiting for this day for 5 years," she admitted. "Ever since I found out about you and Sarah. I kept thinking he'd leave one of us, but he just didn't. And I didn't know how to blow up my kids' lives." We talked for 3 hours. Rebecca showed me David's second phone, the one I'd never seen. It had a completely different contact list, different social media accounts, different everything. She showed me how he'd been splitting holidays, Christmas morning with her family, Christmas dinner with mine. Business trips that lined up perfectly with Sarah's school events and the twins' dance recitals. "He's been playing us both," Rebecca said. "And honestly, I'm tired of sharing my husband." That's when we came up with the plan. The following Saturday, David told me he had a work emergency and had to fly out immediately. But I knew where he was really going. It was Emma and Lily's 10th birthday party. Rebecca and I had coordinated everything. At exactly 2 p.m., while David was cutting birthday cake with his other family, I showed up at the party. Sarah was with me. The look on David's face when he saw us walking through Rebecca's backyard gate was something I'll never forget. Pure, absolute terror. "Surprise, honey," I called out sweetly. I thought it was time our families finally met. The twins ran up to Sarah immediately. "Are you our big sister?" Emma asked. "Daddy has pictures of you on his phone." David tried to stammer out some explanation, but Rebecca cut him off. "Kids, this is your father's other wife, Rachel, and your half-sister, Sarah." The silence was deafening. Even the neighbor's dog stopped barking. That afternoon, we told all the kids the truth together. It was messy and heartbreaking, but they deserved honesty. Michael, the oldest, actually started laughing. "This explains so much," he said. "Why Dad missed my championship game but had pictures of someone else's graduation on his phone." David packed his bags that night. Rebecca and I both filed for divorce the same week. The custody arrangements were complicated, but the kids have actually formed this amazing bond. Sarah.